Alright, so last episode we took on Chelsea in a big game in the Premier League in which we picked up a 2-0 victory in this one. As you can see, Philogene scored in this one here as we signed him, and he performed incredibly in this episode and scoring 2 goals, I believe, in this game to get us the victory. And after that, we took on Aston Villa here in the first round of the Carabao Cup semi-finals, which Martinez and Calvert-Lewin from a penalty spot there. But not long later, Calvert-Lewin found the back of the net, but literally not long later after that, they scored again. Well, they scored to make it 1-1 here. It was a very back and forth game, as you can see by the scoreline. And Raheem Sterling scored a great goal there to get through the gap and find the back of the net. But literally, as expected, Aston Villa scored pretty much from kickoff to get back level. But later in the game, we had an opportunity here to get the win, and Calvert-Lewin scored this time here to make it 3-2. And Ramsdale later made a big save for us. Let's get into today's episode. And up against Man United, we get a 2-1 victory with Sanchez scoring for them, but Jadon Philogene getting 2 goals for us to get the 3 points in this game here away from home. And just like in real life here, we're bringing Simon Adingra in from Brighton. Will be our first team right winger with Jadon Philogene playing left wing for now, and Sterling being a rotation player in that role, and Chris Rigg basically playing down the wing and also at cam depending on where we need him. But Adingra here joins us for 9 million plus Patrick Roberts heading the other way to Brighton, which is a fairly cheap deal. I'm surprised that actually happened considering Roberts is worth 2.9 million and 9 million on top of that is around his valuation anyway. But Adingra joins us here just like in real life and hopefully can be a great player for us in this team. And away from home, we get a 1-0 victory over Nottingham Forest with Calvert-Lewin getting the goal in this one. After missing a penalty, he made good and got us a victory in the end. And for Adingra's debut, technically in this episode, he's going to be taking on Newcastle. Obviously, he did just sim the game against Forest that he was playing in, but this is his first appearance for us in this episode, like played-wise. So this is technically its actual debut, so we get to see how good he is in the team. Let's get into this one because the bench now is looking a little bit better. Chris Rigg is going to be more of a cam, although we do have Diarra, who is actually a cam as well. So Chris Rigg is going to be competing for this competition for the spot with Enzo Lefebvre and Diarra. And also, you can play down the wing as well. We've used him down the wing quite a lot. It's been very, very good for us. Obviously, it was up to me. He would still be in the first team, but you guys wanted to bring in some players that we are now got in the team. That's the Sterling, Jadon Philogene and Adingra, who take the wing spots. I say Talby here as well. A good young talent we're developing as well. And Chris Rigg is going to be competing for these spots with these players. Also, Cameron Archer is currently competing for the first team spot with Calvert-Lewin. And Calvert-Lewin's just been a little bit better. And I think it's just AI. It's just better for whatever reason. I think it's just his movement. I prefer over Archer. Archer hasn't been bad. He's been pretty good for us. He's got some big goals. But just in terms of starting games, I do feel like Calvert-Lewin right now is better than Archer. Obviously, Archer can develop. Let's get into this game. And hopefully, Adingra on his debut can prove to be worthwhile signing, just like he looks to do IRL. And the late goal to see us win the game. Here is Adingra, obviously has the flair and technical play style. So we get a good chance here, Calvert-Lewin. If he feed that into the gap, they know he can't. Fabian Shea intercepts it. See, Newcastle looking for revenge against us. Obviously, Anthony Gordon's looking to leave Newcastle IRL, but he's still in their team in this game. So we trap back here with Hume. I think it's Anthony Gordon. Elanawi over here to Longstaff. Shot taken, and it's going to be saved by Ramsdale. That was a much more dangerous shot than I thought it was by Longstaff. Adingra has got the pace to maybe run through the gap here. Adingra has been fouled there, and that should be maybe a red. It's not the last one back, but it's a clear denial of a goal scored up. It's not even going to be a yellow card. Move behind. The attackers would just move behind defenders when they could stand in an open bit of space or make a run. Now Adingra here. It's a lovely pass to Calvert-Lewin to make it 1-0. Calvert-Lewin does make it 1-0, and Adingra, 18 minutes into his proper debut, gets the assist. He's played great so far, by the way, Adingra. He feels very, very good on the ball. And he gets the assist there for Calvert-Lewin, who makes it 1-0 to us. It's a wonderful through ball by him. I've had players with incisive pass plus and ultimate team not be able to play that pass, but Adingra does it there perfectly, and Calvert-Lewin runs onto it and makes it 1-0. Jacob Murphy, Alexander Isak, Ronaldo, good defending against him. If he was 27 or 28, I'd be like, let's just keep him for the whole series because he's been incredible. And if he does somehow grow in his overall, then there's a possibility we do keep him. As Adingra here. He's got Jadon Philogene. He can play it forward into Calvert-Lewin, and it could be 2-0 here. Calvert-Lewin under pressure. Can he score? He can't, but it falls back to him and he makes it 2-0. A little bit of fortune was on our side there, but we took the effort and we scored. And we could be better. We're on track to better a season by Newcastle, which I believe, if I go into my notes real quickly, I do have it. If I quickly find it real quickly, I forgot to load it up. But basically, Newcastle are the only team in history, I believe, to finish in the top 4. Yeah, in the top 4 in their first season in the top flight. They got promoted in 92-93 and finished 3rd in the Premier League in 93-94. They're the only team to ever finish in the top 4 in their first season back in the Prem. And we could be on track to beat that because we are currently 2nd. And with this win here, we could go top of the table. Alexander Isak denied by Ramsdale. To Adingra, oh, it's a lovely ball. Calvert-Lewin for the hat-trick. Oh, Pope denies him, but Adingra, honestly, Adingra feels incredible. That's mad to say. That's a poor statement right there, but Adingra is unbelievable. Anthony Gordon. But it is Eduardo Krishma. Henderson. So now Brentford play a higher role as Calvert-Lewin can pick that ball up there. Adingra. Enzo Lefebvre. Adingra here. Why not? Just before the end of the half, that was a great effort. And it forced a great save by Nick Pope. He's just been consistent. Alexander Isak. Good defending there from him again, O'Neill. The captain can get it out. Now Henderson can hoof it forward looking for Jaden, but Bart gets a block on that. And Jacob Murphy. Ronaldo, good defender, but it's going to be another throw in for them. Joelinton. Ball inside to Alexander Isak, blocked by Krishma. That's a great bit of defending from him because Isak would have scored. Ball into the box. They're just about away, but only as far as Sandro Tonali can hit them from range. It's here to Isak. Kierkegaard hits it, and that's going to be a fantastic save by Ramsdale. Honestly, Ramsdale is unbelievable. The saves he's been making for us in this series is insane. Oh, no. Newcastle will score eventually, but efforts like that from Botman won't get them to do so. I love that from Jaden Philogene. Honestly, Jaden is unbelievable as well. Jaden Philogene inside, hits it, Pope saves it. Here's Alanawi. Chris Rigg now from range. Chris Rigg hits it and forces a great save there. Into Calvert-Lewin, is looking for the hat-trick. And Calvert-Lewin going to be unselfish, back to Adingra. Chris Rigg. Good defending. Adingra, oh, I love the dribbling from you. Can he get a goal in this debut? Pope saves it. Tonali. Isak. Why didn't he shoot? To be fair, I don't think he should have got the ball to begin with, but why didn't he just shoot there? Rigg. Calvert-Lewin, last chance of the game to get the hat-trick. Calvert-Lewin hits it, and it's just wide of the post. A 2-0 victory over Newcastle, and an incredible performance from this team. This might be our best performance yet. We dominated this game on another level than we have done previously in the series. Calvert-Lewin up front played incredible. Adingra down the right-hand side and Philogene down the left. Wasn't incredible. Calvert-Lewin with the man of the match, but Adingra up there as well. Ramsdale with the 9.1, so he was insane in goal, making some massive saves to stop them from scoring a few goals. It could have been a draw on any other day if we didn't have Ramsdale and Krishma in the back line, as well as O'Neill, etc. But we get a big victory over Newcastle to go 2-2 against them in the series so far. Away from home at Turf Moor, we get a 1-1 draw here with Zian Fleming to get a goal for them late on, and Sterling scoring for us at half time to get a point apiece in this one. And in the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-finals, I always forget there was a second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-finals. There's a month in between them. We drew against them here, but we beat Aston Villa in the end. A 2-2 draw here, beating a 5-4 in aggregate to see us reach a cup final where we could make history. I'll go into that when we do reach the final. And up against Millwall in the FA Cup, it's a 1-0 victory with Calvert-Lewin scoring again for us to get us a win here. And up against Bournemouth, by the way, we're 19th in the Premier League season, so maybe next season we could poach 1 or 2 Bournemouth players in their team. They've got quite a few good players in their team we could sign. So Barney as a centre-back was Italy is linked up a bunch of massive teams right now by IFL. But maybe, since we might be getting Champions League football next season, we could poach him from Bournemouth and get relegated and bring him into our team. That could be something we'd think about. I'll have a look through their team and their players to the shortlist that I think would be good players for us. Obviously, a 2-0 victory over Adingra and also Elanawi getting goals here to get us to 3 points to remain second somehow in the Premier, undefeated as well, which I still, at this point, I still don't understand how it's happened, but I'm just going to run with it. And if we do get Champions League football for next season, then it is where it is. And it would just be kind of impressive in a way that I managed to do it. And up against Brighton, who was 17th in a similar position to Bournemouth, who we could poach a few players off next season. Or maybe it's two you'd got in a team to see if there's anyone that we could buy. Get a 2-2 draw here with Craig, and pointing that on for them. With Adingra and also Cavalier scoring for us in this one here. And it's possibly nearly our 15th draw of the season right now, because we picked up a 2-2 draw against Chelsea. Last episode, we beat them at 2-0 at home, so I decided to sim them for this episode here and get through to our next game. We beat them we draw 2-2, sorry. Have entered the face scoring 2 goals for us in this game to get a point. And while it wasn't easy for our second team against Bristol in the FA Cup, we get a 3-2 victory with Archer scoring 2 goals for us, and also Pembele scoring for us here. This is going through to the next round of the FA Cup. And our next game is going to be away from home at Anfield up against Liverpool, a team that last time we faced them, we picked up a 0-0 draw in a game that I think we could have won, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was a game that we did get a draw, but we possibly could have won it. Let's get into this one, though, away from home at Anfield, and hopefully beat first in the table, because we are 5 points behind them currently. So if we beat Liverpool here, then the title race is on more than it is currently, and I could do an insane thing by winning the Premier League in our first season here, back in the Premier League, which would be incredible. But obviously, I was hoping to finish top 8 this season, but we're currently second, and I've done even better than I thought I could do with this team. But let's get into this game against Liverpool here, hopefully beat them, then get into our next game, which is going to be the Carabao Cup final, which I will show you who we're facing after this one here. Krishma just for some reason decided to run all the way forward, and I didn't tell him to do that there. Ronaldo's there. Okay, this is not a great start to this game for us. Ball back post. Luis Diaz hits it, Ramsdale. Jonathan David. We know how good he can be from our Vintage series. We just did ball through. Luis Diaz. Ramsdale with a massive save once again. I believe Middleskirk as he beat. One inside it, Enzo Lafay. In it to Cavalier, and Cavalier turns, hits it. Alisson. Couldn't have didn't really get much power behind that low-driven shot. Lafay here to Simon Adingra. Adingra makes a move inside. That's a great move from him, but he can't get a shot away in time. And Alisson makes a big save for them there. Jonathan David. Oh, someone got through there. A burst of pace. David makes it 1-0 to Liverpool. I felt like we should have defended him with Kreshma. I felt like I should have got the challenge there, but Jonathan Davis scores to Liverpool to make it 1-0, a play that they were linked to heavily at one point, I believe, last season, but he's now moved to Juventus IRL on a free transfer. And he makes it 1-0 to them there at home. And I do feel like we could have stopped this. Maybe Ramsdale should have made the save. Yeah, I mean, he could have done it near post. Most goalkeepers should save stuff near post most of the time, but it is where it is. We're 1-0 down to Liverpool, and this could be our first loss of the season. If it is, then it's top of the table. We'll lose to, which isn't bad. It's a team like Liverpool that are on track to win back-to-back Premier League trophies. Luis Diaz. But to score again here, it will be harder. And finally, David puts it wide. Some nice football here being played at Anawi. In here to Adingra. Adingra. I didn't want the rainbow flick. Nobody moved it into Enzo Lafay, who can return it back to Adingra, who's running through. Adingra makes it 1-0. Well, makes it 1-1, sorry. That football was incredible there. Honestly, Adingra's come into this team and stolen the spotlight, to say the least. And he makes it 1-1 here. That link-up play with Enzo Lafay was incredible there in a tight-knit space. There's not really much space to get that going there, but Enzo Lafay with a great pass through and a great finish there by Adingra. He puts this back level here. You can see this pass there is a hard one to play. He makes it. And Adingra has to do the rest and finish it, and he does so. We're back level in this game. Henderson does well there. John Henderson, could he be the difference maker right now? He's carrying the ball forward for us. He plays it into Jaden Philogene, who's onside. Jaden to make it 2-1 before half time, and he's done so. We go from 1-0 down to 2-1 up in this game here. And Will Henderson, the former Liverpool captain, scores the goal to put, well, not scores the goal, but gets the assist on the goal. And Philogene scores. See, last episode he was incredible for us. He's now playing down the left for us. And he scores there to make it 2-1 just before the half-time break. No better time than to go ahead than that period, because it changes the whole half-time team to 4 on his slot for their team. And makes them a little bit, but it could be 2-2 actually here. Jonathan David, Chevalier shot, hits the crossbar. Here is Jonathan David, the goal scorer for Liverpool. And Nia and our captain gets the ball off them. Now Enzo Lafay. Already passed inside there to Adingra. Actually just get it ahead. But Joe Gomez, good defender from him. Obviously was a good play. Jonathan David. Ramsdale makes a save. I'm not sure why he went for the Trivela shot. He could have placed it into the far corner and probably scored. But he went for the Trivela for some reason, and that stopped him from scoring in the end. As now, Ramsdale thankfully saves that, because that would have been annoying if he conceded that. McAllister done that from scoring a goal there. A great save. It's now the ball whipped in. Headed not away again, McAllister. Oh no, they're going to get back level on there. The play switching. You saw it in full effect there. I just couldn't move any players towards him. My players were just stuck in mud there. Just right here, man. I'm trying to select the centre backs to move him closer, but it doesn't let me select him whatsoever. I'm trying to select O'Neill that whole time, or Hume, whoever that was, who was close to. I think it's Hume actually who was there. I'm trying to select him that whole time. Yeah, that's frustrating. Oh no, why is O'Neill selecting massively up there? Salah's going through. Salah denied. Kreshma got block. Okay. This game's trying everything right now to get me to lose. Philogene to Lafay. Back to Philogene. Lafay now. Lovely move by him. Adingra is inside it. Adingra near post shot, and it's 3-2. I'm actually stunned by how good Simon Adingra is in this game. Like, I thought it'd be decent for us. He's got great stats in technical and first place isn't bad. But I thought it would take me like an episode or two to really get the best out of him. But he's come into this team straight away and just taken over. And he scores it to make it 3-2 to us. And puts us back in the lead against Liverpool. With a great finish there posted by him. And we could be on track here to beat first in the table, which is insane. Like, part of me is kind of shocked that we've done so well in this first season so far. So it still could fall apart. We could go on a massive losing streak. As they're going to get my level here, aren't they? Yep. It is what it is, man. It's SC25. Kick-off goals are just OP, and you know it's not going to get changed. Here we go. Jadon Philogene, Van Dijk. Well, not sure what he just did there, but he's let us score possibly here as Philogene runs through and he hits the post. Salah here. Ball to the back post has thankfully gone out of play, but that's the end of the game. In a game we should have won. We get a draw, similar to the first game against Liverpool. We should have won it, but we get a draw against them. That's a frustrating draw, man. That's so frustrating. I feel like 2 of the goals we conceded were just scripted against me, man. They had more shots, yes, but they were shooting from range quite a lot, and I feel like we should have won that game. And for the final game of today's episode, we've got a chance to make history in winning, well, be the first team in history to win a trophy in their first season promoted back to the top flight of English football. The closest team that's come, according to my history, is Middlesbrough in 97-98. They got promoted the season before and reached the League Cup final, which is technically this competition here. They reached the final of this competition, but lost it to Chelsea. So if we do beat Man City here at Wembley, we make history by being the first ever team promoted to win a trophy in their first season in the top flight. Not the first season in the top flight, but you know, instantly in the top flight. Let's get into this one and try and make some history here. Ball-line clearance in the last moment of the game. Here's Ryan Shirky running through, shoots. Ramsdale saves it. The second rebound he gets as well. Now, it's been about 2 days since I recorded because, well, I've been a little bit ill and just stuff going on due to the weather in England being really hot. It was just insanely hot the past couple of days, so I just was kind of feeling ill quite a lot of the time, so I just didn't really have any energy to record. Here's Grealish coming forward. For some reason, always starts to see in the team, probably because he's one of the highest rated players, but no Foden obviously, who can play left wing. Ramsdale took a save there. We've had a very poor start to this game. We've not had a single shot. We've been under the pressure of City here. So ball's floated in and headed away by O'Neill, the captain, who could be the one lifting a historic trophy. Bruno Guimaraes from range there. But for us, this is a historic game, and they're going to do whatever they can to stop us from those ends of the face. An incredible. They plays it across to Calvert-Lewin, who shoots, and Calvert-Lewin's made it 1-0. Our first chance of the game. We score. And DCL, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, a player that Many of you might have thought when I brought him in from, well, Everton technically as a free agent, that he might not be a good striker for us in this first season, but he's been proven to be great for us, and he scores again here. It's a great finish under pressure there. 2 or 3 different defenders in front of him. And he hits it, bends it round the Kanji. Ederson can't really see it, so he can't save it. And it's 1-0 here to us. And that goal may have just made us some history. But, oh, come on, man, not this. Grealish. Thankfully, he missed. I was going to say, if literally after that Liverpool game, that's the last time I touched Chroma, by the way. Because that game just kind of annoyed me. And then I was just kind of like, didn't want to. I was planning to record this later in the day, but just kind of ended up feeling kind of ill, so I just didn't do so. And just got busy with other stuff. Here's Jadon Philogene. So Henderson's been incredible. Through ball as well. He should have made that pass, man. That was such an easy pass to make. It was actually a straightforward ball into the feet of our attacker, but he somehow managed to pass it to the City defender. As they're playing one too many passes here. They need to just run with the ball, but it's worked out for them here because Bruno Guimaraes is coming forward here. The Brazilian. Denied there by us, though. And, oh my God, that pass that she's meant for Adingra. There we go, we're getting a ball. But they still have it. There we go, Hume. It's a very scrappy game right now, but we're in the driving seat, so that's all that matters to us. Once again, here's Enzo Lefebvre. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. You can't... No. Who's going to this team in this episode have been absolutely insane for us. He's driving forward here, can lay it across to Calvert-Lewin. His position wasn't the best there, but I'm going to try and just work it around. Back to El Anawi. Adingra. How was Akanji read that, man? There we go, Crouch Miller, that from you. Enzo Lefebvre. And here he is, the man of the moment. He's done it again, he's got past Akanji. He shoots. Ederson denies it. It thankfully forced Calvert-Lewin. Sometimes to win games, you need a little bit of luck on your side. And we had it there. It's rare that stuff happens to me, but, I take it when it happens. I feel like I should have scored with Adingra anyway here, but the finish was saved by Ederson, and the ball just kind of fell to Calvert-Lewin somehow there. It was a weird animation for Ederson to do, and it benefited us. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's got a brace here. And he's on for a hat-trick in the EFL Cup final. We've had 2 shots, well 3 shots technically now. And we've got 2 goals from the 3 shots we've had. And Man City, who had the best start to the game, literally for the opening 20 minutes was all over us. Have been quiet since. It's Henderson. Still is it there. And Calvert-Lewin. Akanji blocks. El Anawi. Can't get it back there. Grealish. No doubt from Quaresma. Oh, I love that from him. His dribbling's incredible, man. And Jadon Philogene, who's also got great dribbling. Akanji, no, Ake, sorry, blocks us there. It's a great ball through, looking for Foden, who's played that pass for some reason. Can we win the header? Yes, we can. How did all of that even happen? That should have been a simple clean-up there for Ronaldo, but that almost ended up being a chance for them. I'm not sure why Foden played that pass to begin with. That was weird. We can't get past it. I feel like Archer might have to come on. Shot from range. Ramsdale, great save, but he keeps the ball whipped to the back post. And Kanji heads it, and Ramsdale, great save. See, Ramsdale's had a great season for us. He's been literally one of our best players. Definitely in the top 5 for the season so far. Love the dribbling there from Foden, but O'Neill steps in. Now Adingra. That's a big challenge there by them. Was on a breakaway if they didn't make that challenge. Haaland shoots. Ramsdale again with an incredible save to stop them from scoring. Marmoush's now on for them. That's dangerous for me because Marmoush tends to always score when I play against him. Vitinha also came off a Nunez at one point. And Aitner is out now on for them. Foden battles to the ball but gets it. Foden does well, hits it. Ramsdale denies his fellow Englishman. El Anawi. Calvert-Lewin, hat-trick. Is wiped out. It isn't last man, but a red card for Travolio might be on its way. And it's only a yellow, fair enough, to be fair. It wasn't last man. I think Akanji was still back there, but it could have been a red. Because, I mean, he went for the ball, but it was late, and me and Pep are arguing there. Pep's clearly not happy about what's happened there, but we're best at his team. And we need to promote a team to the Prem. It's towards the top in the Prem as well. Outperforming them in the cup final as well. Henderson. Rodri intercepts it, but we get the ball back. O'Neill. One last goal maybe here. A chance for Calvert-Lewin to get the hat-trick. He turns and he can't shoot because Ake gets the challenge in there. But again, should be doing this. A 2-0 victory. And we have made history with this win here. The first team ever in English history to get promoted and win a trophy in the following season. The closest that happened, like I mentioned, Wigan did it after years of being in the Premier League, beat C in the final in 2012. Obviously, like I also mentioned, I think it was Ipswich I mentioned that almost did it. No, Middlesbrough, that almost did it years ago, reaching the final but lost to Chelsea. But we go a step further. We win the trophy that Middlesbrough couldn't win all those years ago, the League Cup. We win here. We beat City 2-0 in the final, but a game that they had more chances. They probably had more possession. But at the end of the day, you've got to take your chances to win games. And we did exactly that in this one. And then Ian, the captain, will get to lift the trophy. Maybe the only trophy he gets to lift for himself in the series, because he might not be the captain in the team next season when we do eventually get to Champions League football, etc. But Ian gets this moment nonetheless. An historic cup win for Sunderland and for the whole of England. People are taking notice right now of this Sunderland team. And we're not just a promoted team that goes up and then goes back down. We're a promoted team that are going to do what Leicester did and stay here towards the top and fight and maybe win trophies along the way. And well, that's going to call it for the end of today's episode. And you're looking at a team that has just achieved history, like I mentioned, the first team ever to win a trophy in their first season in the top flight of English football after getting promoted the previous season. We managed to do so, beating City 2-0 in that final, where Calvert-Lewin were both goals. Obviously, ends of the I think got both assists in that game, if I'm not mistaken. Adingra played great, Philogene played great as well. This team is just unbelievable. Next season, we're most likely going to sign maybe a new left back, centre back, and CDM, because obviously Siddiqui and Neil and Diawara, who's actually more of a cam for me, and I'm actually trying to convert him into a cam, is taking a while to develop in that role. But we've also got Rick that can play there as well, but he's also playing down the wing as well. We're developing him into everything we can do, just have him be the most versatile player in the team. Obviously, Neil and also Siddiqui could take over next season if they develop into the player we need them to be, but I think it would be more worthwhile signing a player. But Henderson's been unbelievable for us since signing for us. Adinawi, as a deep line playmaker, is so good. Like, I wish he had play styles, because he deserves some play styles. Like, if he had maybe intercept some passing play styles, I think it would be better. But obviously I can't give him play styles because I don't play on PC, so that's kind of annoying. But the team's playing incredible. I will show you the stats of the players and we'll end the episode there. As you'll see here, the players have an incredible season, with Calvert-Lewin 18 goals and 2 assists, Philogene 10 and 2, and obviously Elanawi with 10 assists, ends of the Faye 11 assists. As you can see, Adingra in 15 games. Obviously, he played a bunch of games for. He's only played. Well, he's got 4 goals and 3 assists. Not sure how many of them are for us, but he's got 4 goals and 3 assists. He's played great for us. He's got a bunch of goals, got assists for us. He's played great since signing. But like I mentioned, that's going to call it for the end of today's episode. Drop a like and subscribe if I've got into enjoy it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.